There, how are ya? Happy Sunday. I pray everybody's having a positive, productive day so far today. If not, I pray that your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and of course the Most High help you with that today. That being said, I'm here just to kind of do like an update video. I'm trying to get more active with the yoga channel now that I've got things kind of ironed out on the other channel. Trying to get a better schedule, calendar, whatever going so that I can do both and still not deprive my everyday life of the attention that it needs. But that being said, I'm really just going to be here and chit chat. I'm going to kind of pick up my stuff from this morning while we're doing it. In my last video, I mentioned the exercise hula hoop, which there's two different kinds. There's the ones that is actually like what we think of as a hula hoop. And then you have these new handy dandy ones that they've come out with. I spoke about it on the last video. Mine is not like the name brand one that you see advertised all the time. I actually got mine. I had one of the name brand ones and I ended up selling it because I was never using it. And it was like the whole little kit. Well, then I ended up finding this one at one of the bin picking places on Dollar Day. So I actually got it for $1. And, as given, when you pay, you get what you pay for. I attempted using it at first and I couldn't get it to do right. And so I gave up on it and packed it away. And then I watched a video. I've shared it on the community page and I'll try to remember to share it again, where the guy teaches like how to use one. He had like 5 different rules, instructions, however you want to say it on you. And when I was watching that video, one of the things he talked about was the string that connects the weight to the belt. And he talked about, with off brands, a lot of times the string is not long enough, so you can't get the proper trajectory to get it to spin right. Well, while I was watching that video, I thought to myself, I bet that's what's wrong with mine, because originally the string was only this long. So that's not very long at all. You can't get enough trajectory. And so I went and unpacked mine. And the way I ended up doing mine, I had an old exercise jump rope that the dogs had chewed on the handle and a part actually of the jump rope itself, which this jump rope is rubber. It's not fabric. So I ended up dismantling that jump rope and untied the weight from, let's see if I can pull it out of here, from the little wheel contraption, and untied the string, and then ended up running the string it's not string, it's rubber, through the loop and connecting it to the rope. And actually these little connectors right here, this one and this rubber stopper right here, actually make it to where it holds in place quite well. And that gave me the length that I needed. And I actually ended up having a little bit left over, which I just left on here because if you're outside, you can make it even longer. But I do mine inside in my room, so, I can change the length of it if I want to. And then I just keep that kind of tied up, so it doesn't hinder my spinning. But that being said, at the end of my first week, I haven't weighed myself for this week yet, but at the end of my first week, for most of the videos that you see, they talk about just doing it once a day, 30 minutes once a day. And the first video that I ever saw of a woman using this, she was a quite large woman, and her testimony was she ended up losing 100 pounds in a year by doing it once a day for 30 minutes. Well, when I first started, I was doing it 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then I dropped down to 2 times a day, and now I've dropped down to once a day, but I'm going to try to get back up to at least twice a day. But I'm dealing with my ankle acting up, and so the motion that you do to keep it going really kind of affects my ankle. But I'm going to get my ankle brace out to where I can get back to doing it more. So nonetheless, at the end of my first week, I had lost 2.5 pounds by doing it 3 times a day for 30 minutes. So that's an hour and a half a day altogether. So hence the little bit of a higher number. I'm not expecting as high of a number this week because I had dropped down to once a week or once a day instead of 3 times a day. So I just kind of wanted to give an update on that and show you guys how I did it. The weight, another thing that I had to do with my weight, and it looks like I'm probably going to have to do it a little bit again. Something that I noticed when I did get the length fixed and was able to actually get it to spin. If you can see right here, this is 2 parts connected and it has a seam right here. Well, these weights are filled with sand. And when I was spinning it around, the sand was coming out of the seam. And so I just took some clear nail polish. You could use super glue or, you know, excuse me, any kind of glue, you know, to fill that seam. But to me, clear nail polish was what I had, and it served the purpose. But you can also see it's got little screws in the bottom where you can take it apart. And I've actually got some little weights that are intended to make the little Whopper ball keychains. I don't know really what they're called, but at some point I'm going to, before I reseal this again, because it looks like it's starting to pull apart a little bit, I'm going to actually take those out and try to add some weight from where I lost some of my sand. But nonetheless, there's the update on the belt. It's very easy. It's very user-friendly. I'm going to share that video again because watching that video really helped me kind of just get a baseline. And then once you get the hang of it, you know, you kind of form your own pattern. But it's great, especially during the winter time, like now where we've got the snow and you can't really get out and walk as much. The belt is a great substitute for that. I really enjoy just walking. You know, there's multiple benefits to getting outside and walking, but especially during this time of year, it's not really realistic. And so this has been a great help for me. And then there was a couple other things that I wanted to talk about. One, I wanted to bring up Barbara O'Neill again. She has tons of information. I've learned so much from her, from the castor oil to the sea salt, to the different natural remedies, which is definitely going along with my coursework and my topic of study. So it really goes well with the yoga teachings. So first I wanted to talk about the sea salt. When I bought the sea salt, it came in a cardboard box. And that's not a very good storage method because it allows moisture to get to whatever's in the box. So I converted mine over to a glass jar. This was actually an olive jar. But there are so many numerous benefits to sea salt. And I used to be the type of person, because of, you know, we've grown up being taught that salt is bad for you. It contributes to so many different health conditions. But what they don't tell you is the lack of salt can also cause a lot of health conditions. The iodine in the salt, the iron in the salt, there's a lot of health benefits from salt. Now, with the sea salt, I took Barbara's direct advice, and of course you can add it to your food, but what she suggests is just taking a pinch of it and putting it in your mouth. So, but you can also add it to your water. But usually what I do is I'll just take a pinch of it and put it on my tongue and wait until I can actually taste the salt. And then I just chase it with a couple drinks of water. A lot of different health benefits. I'll Google it and get a screenshot to post to the community page. But, I mean, you can also do your own research. There's all different kinds of brands of sea salt. There's Celtic sea salt is what Barbara really encourages. This isn't Celtic sea salt. It's just sea salt. But there's a specific brand that she advertises or promotes. I'll share what brand I ended up getting. It came in a green box. But nonetheless, a good, simple, affordable addition to make to your holistic health regimen. Just a pinch a couple times a day. Sometimes I'll take a little pinch of it and put it in my coffee. I'm not really sure the science or the medical reasoning behind it, but a lot of times when I drink my coffee, it'll give me a little bit of heartburn. But when I put the salt in it, it doesn't do that. So I'm sure there's some kind of scientific reason for that. And then, so sometimes I'll put it in my coffee, and then sometimes I'll put it in my tea. And that's the other thing I wanted to share with you guys today. Getting the different varieties and flavors of tea has really helped me. One, not overconsume coffee, because I have a tendency to drink way too much coffee. But it's also helped with me not being tempted as much to drink the soda. Soda will cause you to gain weight so quick, and there's nothing in it that's good for you. It's a very bad habit that a lot of us have, and it's an even harder habit to break. So the tea that is the most easily accessible for me is the Traditional Medicine brand of tea. They have all different kinds. They pride themselves on being organic. The lemon ginger, I don't necessarily use this one as often, encourages digestive support. And all these little tea bags, on the little tag on the tea bag, they have like little inspirational quotes. I like that too. Another brand that I really like is the Yogi brand, YOGI. That's a very good brand as well, but it's harder to find than the Traditional Medicines. Also, the Echinacea and elderberry combo promotes immune function. Especially this time of year, anything you can do to support your immune system is a great thing. One of my favorites is the hibiscus. When you make it, it makes the tea almost like a pink color, almost kind of like Kool-Aid. But it's labeled as tart and fruity and promotes heart health. The hibiscus is one of my favorites. And then this one is the Nighty Night. I used to use just chamomile, but this is actually chamomile and passion flower, which is even better, and it promotes a good night's sleep. It's a relaxer, So I wanted to come on and share those a little bit. It's really helped me, and I think a lot of people, if we can just get in the habit of it, it's very helpful. Instead of going and grabbing a soda, just keep you either a tea kettle on the stove, or I use my little coffee pot and I'll just run a batch of water through it. That way I've got the water hot and ready whenever I want a cup of tea. So that being said, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to mention. Being aware of our weight and, being cautious of what we consume is very important, not only to help us manage our weight, but to help us manage overall health and wellness. Yes, being overweight causes all kinds of different health problems, but if you can combine the two, of being aware of your weight and also being aware of the other health issues that being overweight causes, and also the health benefits of being aware and conscious of the things that cause us to gain weight, is a big thing as well. So I will post a video later today of another week of the yoga poses and the body weight exercises. As I say always, you never have to stick to a direct regimen. If your ultimate goal is just overall weight loss and good health, you don't have to stick to a strict regimen of all kinds of different exercises and weights and things like that. Yes, if you have certain areas that you want to focus on or improve, you can do that. But in reality, just being conscious of your overall internal health will benefit your external health and, of course, your weight altogether. So just wanted to come on and share these few things with you that I've been using. Another thing that is, this just popped into my head, so let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Okay. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but another little side note, I'll share it on the community page. I'll go to my Amazon and take a screenshot and share it on the community page so I can share the brand. But another good tip with the tea, instead of using sugar as your sweetener, because sugar has a huge effect on many different parts of our internal health, and the addiction to sugar, which a lot of us have, affects our health in so many ways. But the last time I bought honey, I ordered it on Amazon, and it came in a gallon jug. It was 5 pounds of honey, which I don't think is actually a full gallon, but it came in a big jug, and I just pour it out of the jug into a jar, you know, and just refill it once it starts running low. But that's also a small change that you can make that will make a huge impact. Fighting that sugar addiction goes right along with the soda. It's something that a lot of us have, an addiction that we have that we don't realize that we have. But they have scientifically proven that sugar is just as addictive, if not more addictive, than street drugs or prescription drugs. And the sad part about it is we don't realize the toll that it takes on our body or makes on our body. And a lot of us don't even realize we have that addiction until we try to eliminate the sugar out of our diet. It's a big thing. The sugar also feeds the different parasites that, you know, everybody's talking about parasites and cleansing right now. So the sugar also those parasites also feed off that sugar. So when you can try to eliminate as much sugar as possible, it's also going to help starve out those parasites as well. That being said, seeing as I'm on the topic of parasites, there are pretty much any kind of nut or seed is going to help you fight that parasite infection that's in you. When I first did my parasitic cleanse, I didn't buy any of these parasite cleanses that you can find online or in stores. It's a really popular thing right now. I did a papaya and pineapple cleanse. I did it for 7 days, and then ended up doing another 7 days a little while later where I didn't necessarily have just the papaya and the pineapple. There were other things that went in with it. But I basically made papaya pineapple smoothies and drank those for 7 days. But pumpkin seeds also help eliminate the parasites, and black walnuts. So, you know, pumpkin seeds and black walnuts is something, you know, if you're in a snacky mood, instead of running towards something that's, you know, packaged from the store, cookies, potato chips, you know, whatever your thing is, try to get you some pumpkin seeds or some walnuts and snack on those instead. And it will not only be better for your overall health, but it will be better as far as trying to help starve out those parasites that are inside of us that we all have, whether we want to admit it or not. The way we live in society as a whole, most of us have them. We've had them our whole lives, and we don't even realize that. If you're not familiar with that, I would suggest going and Googling it, because when you start starving out those parasites and trying to get rid of them, it causes all different kinds of symptoms like headache and being fatigued and feeling lethargic. So there are symptoms that go along with that as you're starving out those parasites. And when I first did it, I wasn't aware of those things. So I had to go and educate myself. All right, I'm going to leave it there. As always, be grateful for what you have, the big, the small, and the blessings yet to come. If you see a need out there today, tomorrow, next week, if there's any possible way that you can fill that need, please do so. You may not only better their day, but you could possibly change their life, and you never know the impact it can have on yours. Be blessed, find peace, and I'll see you next time.